of the major operating expenses to any rental property is vacancy.
Check this out as well. More than 100,000 people in New York City alone are experiencing homelessness.
More than a fifth of all downtown Denver office spaces are currently empty. So the city is paying an outside firm to find out what it would take to turn some of these into homes.
And 4 of those apartments are vacant and have been vacant for over 5 years. Let's count them. Vacant. 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 All right, why is that?
Hey everyone, Suzy here from Adventurous Real Estate Investors. Today, I'm going to chat with you about 3 ways you as a landlord, what you can do to keep your residents happy. There are more than 3 ways, but today we're just going to chat about 3. One of the major operating expenses to any rental property is vacancy. We want to try to make sure vacancy is as low as possible at all times. You don't want units sitting empty. You do want your residents renewing year after year as often as possible. And you also want resident referral. That's huge too, right? So how can you do a combo of all of that? You should care about vacancy because of the economic costs. So the key to minimizing vacancy is by keeping the residents happy, right? Happy residents means that we stay in business and everything just flows together. But here are 3 ways to keep your residents happy and then increasing the chance of renewals. So the first one, which I think is huge, is probably respond to maintenance requests.
The lack of air conditioning in this building is one problem. You can see it's 80 degrees here in the hallway. The other big issue those living here say, hidden behind these walls in the hallway, rats, they say, have taken over.
There was a hole, like in Looney Tunes, where there's a hole in the bottom of the wall,
Yeah.
and they had come right through, and they were living all in the bottom of the stove.
It's just so difficult, and the management is, I've called and called, they don't take my calls.
Marianne's apartment is without AC and filled with big holes in the walls and the ceiling, covered by thin plastic. It's been like this, she says, for months. Down the hall, inside Nancy's unit, no air conditioning.
You do not want maintenance requests sitting. And if they are in the position where they are going to sit, longer than a day or 2, you need to be reaching out to that resident to inform them why. Is it because you have to order a part? Is it because there are emergencies on hand, and because theirs is not an emergency, it can wait a day? Maintenance requests are a huge concern to the property, because if the resident feels unheard, then the resident will want to leave. The resident will want to go and move to a place where they do feel heard, wanted, and appreciated. And all those things can happen promptness to the maintenance request. And then it shows that you care as a landlord. It shows that the property management cares. It really just keeps a lot of peace and cohesiveness in the community. So the second thing is make occasional improvements and upgrades. But the thing is, how do you decide which ones to do? I think a great way to figure that out is that during those maintenance requests, or during preventative maintenance, if you have a chance to chat with the resident, not you, but the property manager or the maintenance personnel, while they were there, ask hey, if there was any additional improvements to happen to the property, what would you want to see? Does that include exterior lighting? Does that include painting or having a walkway fixed or a rail fixed or something done to the pool or the playground? Getting that input just by asking that question will, 1, help you solve a lot of your problems, but 2, you're having somebody else do that legwork. So who can help you obtain that information, and by the residents giving it to you, it really is a win, because then you know what the residents will appreciate, and those gestures will show that you care, right, about the property and about their comfort, care, safety, whatever that may be. And then the third and final thing to do to try to keep retain residents is give them gifts. So what do I mean by that? Can you give the mother's flowers during Mother's Day? Can you give away gifts during Christmas, gifts during Thanksgiving? It is a way just to remind the residents again that we do value them. Every month we have 2 resident events at our property. One is big and one is usually smaller, but even within that, right? They can win a gift by just RSVPing. At our properties, we have porch decorating contests often, and they can win a prize that way. It just really gets the residents involved with each other, involved with the property manager so that they feel more comfortable with the property manager. And then hopefully, because they are interacting with other residents, they then get more involved with each other as a community. And once they feel as if they live in a community, they want to stay there. So those are the 3 ways that I wanted to chat with you about today. So the first one, again, just to go over them, was promptly respond to maintenance needs. The second one was make occasional improvements and upgrades. And then the third one was just by giving them gifts. So you want to make sure that you are separating yourself from other landlords. More often than not, we hear about these slumlords and these bad reps and these stories, and we want to make sure that as a property owner and a real estate investor, that we recreate or redefine how residents feel towards their landlords and towards living in apartments. We want to make sure that they are happier and that they stay year after year. And with that, you lower your turnover costs and then you create stability for your investments. So if you have any questions, please reach out and please make sure to ring that bell so that you get notified whenever we put out new content, and smash that like button below if you liked the content today. Have a great day. Bye.